Hi gang. It should be on here somewhere. Maybe at some point. Trying to see now. How do I do that? Right here. Hit that, press that, include that, turn that volume down. Alright. Kind of something neat I wanted to do for you guys. Try not to have it in the way. Okay, I gotta work over here, I guess. Maybe I can put it over here. There we go. That's going to be really cool to watch. Alright. So you guys can follow along and see how I'm ignoring your messages and can have just a good time. Maybe I can post a hello. Hello. Alright. Let's get started on this. What am I doing today? Well, I think I posted in the description that I'll be finishing up this model in a Facebook feed I did earlier before my lunch break. I made this little crate, a little apple crate to go in there, and I thought I would color it and then maybe put a label, some labels on there and snazz it up a little bit. And then also I have to do some finishing touches on here, like add the nails, which stick around for that because that's going to be interesting. How am I going to add nails to this? Made a cardboard. Let's like tack some little nails in there. No, you'll see here in a second. But first, while I'm getting ready to put nails on this model, I noticed that the lid, oh, did I show you that? You guys saw this part, right? It has a lid and it's hinged with paper. So it's pretty delicate. And then back here, you can see it's kind of not finished very well. It's springy. I want to make it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to glue that edge down and just hang out with you guys. So this is all prep work for an instructional video that I'm going to be doing, showing how this is done. And it's going to be a speed art video. So you'll be able to watch in just a few minutes how to make one of these yourself. So that's kind of the goal of this, is a dry run, so I can iron out and see what all the problems are, because I've made a few of these, but I've never really formalized it in my mind. I just kind of roughed it together, and I've run into a few of the same problems that if I would have just kind of remembered how to do it, wouldn't have been such a Hairy Mary. Sorry for any Hairy Marys out there who may take offense to that. So I'm going to let that dry upside down with some weight on it. My pestle will hang up in there. There we go. Yeah, let me move this slightly and have it roll. Anyway, I'll see if that works for a minute. Set this off to the side. And yes, this crate. Now I have some brown paper that I kept a brown paper bag, and I just cut some paper off of it. So I'm going to make some label sized pieces. And I think if I just do it this way, life might be easier. So let me get a white piece of paper so you guys can see what's happening. Because my cruddy work surface here is so hard to see. Okay, so if I just divide this in half roughly visually, divide that in half, and I don't think this is going to be a pear for pears, because we grow some awesome pears here in the Rogue Valley. You can get those. You can order them online from Harry and David if you'd like some really delicious Oregon grown in the sun pears. You can't go wrong. I've tasted them and they're like candy. Really delicious. You haven't had a pear until you've had one. Picked at the peak of perfection and then rushed to you mail order through Harry and David. So give that some thought. In a few days you could be eating a delicious pear like you've never had before. This isn't sponsored by Harry and David, by the way. So hope you guys are doing okay. Anybody who's out there watching now or in the future. Probably in the future. It's been kind of a slow day for online anything. I want to get this to really stand out with some color by grinding my nice color pencils down to nothing. I need to not have such a heavy hand. You know what I need? If I can remember what I did with them. Those are too small. Oh, bollocks. I guess I'll just have to use these. They're just so hard to press. Did I say that out loud? I hope that didn't pick up. Try not to say that word when I'm on camera. I say it too much when I'm not. It's the problem. See how that looks on there. Try to be delicate and just end up launching it into my face. I don't know if I like covering up the slats, the slatty part of it. Yeah, on one end. I'm just going to put them on one end. These are some cheap fruit crates. No one wants to spend a lot of money on them. Make a delicious looking gourd. I mean pear. It seems like a lot of work for just a small detail, but whenever I've showed this kind of art, these kinds of sculptures to people, it's really the detail. It's the attention to what may seem inconsequential that really sells it. So definitely go all in. Oh, damn it. I need to sharpen that pencil. I don't know why I threw it back in the box unsharpened, like some kind of savage. And put pear and maybe something that looks like writing down here, and then go around the outside of this, kind of take that red up. You guys can't see. I somehow managed to do all that work behind this tiny little crate, so you guys couldn't see what's all the things blocking. Can you guys see that little label? Here, let's check it out. Is that making any sense? Does that look like anything to you guys? All right. So let's glue that baby on there. Like a little postage stamp. Oh, you know what? I don't think it just needs to be on the side, because it's not going to stick down in there, because the surface is, there's some relief there that I think's not going to respond to being adhered to. You can't stick glue to space. There. Now, can we see? Maybe I can get in here. You guys can see what's going on. That's pretty cool, huh? I like that. And then maybe help you guys see here too. There's the instant replay. Did you hear that loud noise? I knocked this off like I knew I was going to. Put those back so they're where I need them the next time I need them. Okay, so this will be upside down like that in here, so it's not even, the text isn't even the right side up. But if I situate this in here thusly, when you look in through the door, you can't see anything because the light's not right. But you could read that. I'm going to look at it myself and do a visual inspection. It's like, that's pretty cool. All right. So now the nails. How are we going to nail this crate together? We're going to do it with an ink pen. Cool thing about art is you really only need to imply what's there. It's mostly an illusion. This is an old crate, so those nails have rusted. They've run because it's gotten wet. You guys see what I'm doing here? You know what I could do is set this camera to show you guys. That would be interesting. I might try that if you guys want to stick around for it. Just imagining where I would hammer this together, and I'm hammering it together so you can see. No, you can't. See, there's little dots. Look at it. Yeah. So there's nails. Okay. Now this is where I do a little bit of kind of a decoupaging sort of thing. I'm going to seal this, take up the luster a little bit with this glue, but it's going to be a dull luster. And if I do it in the right direction, there's enough water in here, I can actually pull that ink from the nails down so it looks like it's been exposed to the elements. So I just want to be sure to go in the right direction. I'm going to try and get those to run down. There we go. That's doing it. Nothing real dramatic. It's just really subtle. Just enough to, you know, again, give the indication. You have to sell that illusion. Now, if you put that on and it's starting to gloop up or pool, you don't want it to dry in a pool because then it'll show. So you want to just take a little bit of water and thin it out and make sure that it gets an even spread. And you don't want it to fill in the cracks really. Now, if it's wet and it fills in the cracks, when it dries, it will pull apart and it'll open back up. But if it's too thick, it won't open back up. It'll seal that, and then it's just going to look weird. Bring the luster of that label up. I'm going to show you this close up again once I get done with this, and you can see maybe there's a little bit of a difference you'll be able to detect. It's such a thin layer of glue, it should dry fairly fast. Shouldn't have to worry about it too much. And I'm just going to do the outside of it. I'm not going to treat the inside. So let me set that off to the side on something in case the glue dries to the surface it's on. I can peel it off. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Okay, next, this. Got to put the nails on here. I don't know. Got an itchy spot there for some reason. It's hard telling. I'm going to start with the bottom in case I mess it up. So if I find the cross members, and I'm just going to mark that with a couple starter nails. Find that board there. You can see. Is that board in there? No, you can't see. Draw all over it while I'm showing you that. You can see the board here. Okay, and then I'm going back here, following along the same, because I want it to line up and look like, I don't want there to be a nail mark where there's nothing to nail it to, because then it's just not going to make sense. These kids didn't have a lot of nails, so they just put 2 in on each one instead of 4 or whatever. You know, I'm sure it's to spec, to local ordinance for clubhouse builds. There we go. Can you guys see? Little nails going along the bottom there. Okay. Structurally, I think I should have another member across here. I don't think it's going to make sense at this point. Okay, maybe I might put some hydrocortisone on that, whatever it is. I'll get itchy from like soap, detergents, when I wash my hands. Sometimes I have an adverse effect. I don't know if I just don't get it all cleaned off or if it makes its way into my body somehow or what, but I'd be pretty sensitive to soap. Which is unfortunate for anyone who needs to be around me. I'm just playing. No, I still use it even though it's kind of irritating. I think that sort of makes sense. It's going to make it kind of wonky when it sets down, but you know what? It's a kid's clubhouse, so I think it's okay if it's wonky. There. Makes it look like it's kind of safer, maybe. I'm gonna have to hold that there. The worst part of doing art, waiting. I guess while I'm waiting for that, with my other hand that's free, is that holding together? I think that's holding together. Alright, I can start doing the nails for this. Try to remember there may be somebody who wants to watch this at some point and actually see what's going on. You can see it's just basically a death trap for children. It's what I grew up with. There are death traps all over the place. If you lived through childhood during the 70s, it was either just serendipity, you know, fortuitous happenstance, or you had some skills for survival. And I kind of want to make them look like some of those have kind of punched through on this side. Maybe they're bent over a little bit. You know how nails get bent over. Yeah. And you dig it? Here, let's see. Put it back here. Oh, I know I'm driving you guys crazy, ain't I? Can you see that? Hope so. Sorry, I had to stop for a second. There were some strange noises. I'm like, what's happening? I'm always trying to make sure the noises I hear aren't trying to tell me to run for my life. I'm trying to get ahead of any disaster. I want to be the first to know. I'll sketch in some details for this door so it doesn't just look like it's paper hanging on the edge here. And I have a piece of scrap wood or board. It'll work really well for doing what I need it to do. I'm just going to do it the right way. Measure, cut. I could let go of this pencil. I have a problem with that, letting go of things. I just want to keep 500 things in my hands. I keep thinking of that song, it's a country song. I don't know if you guys like country or not, but I like that song, Put It All On Me. I kept listening. I listened to this radio station so I wouldn't listen to music. I know it sounds weird, but I have to have something playing just for the ambience while I work. But I want it to be something I don't want to listen to. Also, I'll get distracted and I'll forget and miss something, or mess up at work. So it's got to be some inert music. So I put on country, obviously, right? And now I'm liking the songs and I'm paying attention to them, and now I have to put it on something else that customers aren't going to like. Classical music. I like classical music. I don't know what I could put it on. Sometimes I just have to turn it down real low where I can't even tell what's playing. And then I imagine something is playing, and then when I go up to the radio it's like, oh, is that song? It's not even in the right genre. How could I have imagined this fast hip-hop song was actually this country song? It's so weird. Can you guys see how this come along? I have making a framework for this, a crude framework. Oh, okay, I kind of like it like that. I like it like that. Sorry to subject you guys to my singing. I'm getting a lot of artwork done today. I wanted to do this project earlier. How's this go like this? Like at the end of last week. But I thought, no, just save it. Do something else and just save that project, and then you can have some continuity in your content. So this is all about content continuity. I think last week I did a little bit on this. There. You guys can see how that's all framed out now. And it's not perfect, like perfect would work. It looks like kids tried to do it, right? You know? That's what this is all about. It's looking really nice. So let's hammer some nails. It's the quietest hammering you've ever heard in your life. Oh man. Goes there to there. I had to do the nails for the door going diagonal. And you can see there's a board inside. I have to remember that it's not a mirror. It's the hardest thing for my brain to process. And that's nailed on somehow. Doo-doo. Alright, inside here. Just kind of find that board with my finger, and doesn't have to be perfectly straight. In fact, if it's not, it's going to look better. You guys see a little bit, and then the front, you guys can see that a little bit. Let's do this other side now. So I could do it up here and show you guys. You've seen how a pen works, right? Try not to be too reductive. There, just like that. One thing that I love about this project is that you don't have to be absolutely precise about it. In fact, it counts on you being imprecise in order to help sell the illusion. So it really is a great kind of project for kids. If you want to help them cutting out the material, that'd probably be the one thing, but assembling it, it'd be a great way to teach them how to build stuff without having to use saws, nails, and stuff. So consider cardboard. I'm just doing the inside details now as a substitute for early woodworking, if you want to teach kids how to work with wood early. Just going to go down, 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 down. Alright, I think I've got all of the details that I need to have. I have my pear crate that goes inside. Put it right side up, upside down, whatever. So now I want to think about a poster or something inside. and painting, treating this outside surface. So I think maybe I'm going to do that now. So see if I got enough. There's not enough material there to do this. So making just a wash, a really thin wash of glue. Lids. How long have screw-on lids been around? Glue bottles. Jeez. Just words. Light. Okay. That's pretty thick. It needs to run. I think after this I'm going to try to go and take care of some business downtown. Get outside and enjoy. Enjoy how beautiful it is here. It's 55 degrees. Sunny. Hardly a cloud. I don't see a cloud in the sky at all. Did you see me throw that brush in the trash finally? Anybody who follows me on Facebook knows what that's about. I'm not trying to take all day. I have, like, just because it's a scale model doesn't mean I have to use a scale brush. Jeez. Use a bigger brush, dude. I'm gonna wait to do the bottom so I have a surface it can rest on to dry. That'd be smart to do. Can you guys see what I'm doing here? I'm just putting that on there as thin as I possibly can. I don't want it to pool anywhere. I don't want it to seal up any of the cracks. This is going to change the luster, the appearance of it. It's going to take up the reflectivity or ambience without making it look glossy. And it's also going to preserve the paper a little bit and stiffen it, make it more resilient. And it'll also be somewhat resilient to water, although the glue, once it's cured and it's really hard, it has to stand in water before you can penetrate that, or it has to have really hot water to release the proteins. So it should be fairly resilient to getting wet at that point. Just go around everything, try to make sure it's thin. Oh man, I don't... Why is every single brush I own the hairiest thing I've ever seen? It's just stuff's going everywhere. Maybe it was off that other brush. Now I gotta go through here and pick hair off of this thing. Lord knows what it would be to scale. Kind of looks like a crack in the board, to be honest. Sometimes mistakes can be really helpful. In this case, it's not. It's irritating me. I'm about to Hulk out. Play the Bruce Banner music now. I think I got him. Just use your fingers. You're gonna have to paint over it anyway. Okay. Don't do what I just did. Make your life hard. That's why this is a dry run. Can you imagine I'm trying to tape a real video and have hair for my brushes all in everything as I'm trying to do it? That one's going in the trash. I'm not dealing with no hairy brushes. I'm done. Done dealing with hairy brushes. I don't even know why I keep them. I guess in case I need to make something hairy as I paint it. Could happen. Getting some really, really good penetration with that glue. That's going to help seal that. Make it really, sell it as a wood color, or a wood material, which I guess it is. It's paper. I like how the different colored cardboard makes it look like different kinds of wood. Neat little effect I like. One more side. I'm trying, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to film this. I'll probably do it like my first videos with dry erase, because I really like the angle. The perspective on that was really cool, but it was so hard to work around. It was impractical to expect me to make videos every week with that setup, but I kind of liked how it appeared. Try to open those cracks. I don't want that glue to fill those in. Okay. And maybe if I rinse this brush off nice, treat it like my friend instead of like my enemy, let it dry, the bristles won't fall out all over the place. Okay, so you guys can see what's going on here. Got the glue drying inside there. You can see how it's already changed the luster. If I didn't tell you this was cardboard, you'd think I nailed it together. Pretty neat. So once the glue dries, I'll be able to go over it with some acrylic paint. Try to do a wash, and I'm going to put keep out right here as if somebody painted it with some white paint to keep out. Maybe that'll do that on the back. Keep out. So yeah, I like that. I'm going to set that guy off to the side. And if you want to know what cardboard I used, you know those little yellow pads? You can just take the yellow part off and use, I've already cut these up, but you can use that cardboard, just cut them into strips. You can draw your lines and cut along your lines or whatever, or you know, just freehand it. I'm pretty good at freehanding. And then that's a board. You just created a little board. So whatever you could make out of lumber, you could do with this kind of material. It works excellently. It's thin enough you can cut it. It's sturdy enough that it's probably maybe 200 pounds or better in weight. It's pretty heavy stuff. And then I have corrugated cardboard. It doesn't look as real because it's got this space in there. You can immediately tell what it is. But this is a great thing for building up the structural component. So if you wanted to add lumber looking material to it, you have this as a substrate, which could really reinforce the weight of it. So you could actually make siding. So if you were doing a little house, you could make, oh, you guys can't see, sorry. you can make siding by stacking the lumber like that along on a cardboard substrate. So this is material right here. It really is invaluable. You can see what I've been able to make with it, and the label was made from the paper from a paper sack. So there's material there too. Really simple supplies, some imagination, a little bit of time, and you could have a nice little clubhouse box. I'm not sure what you would do with this, but I know people have put these in like plants, like potted plants, set it right in on the soil, hide it underneath inside like a philodendron, and it just looks like a little clubhouse hiding back there. It's so cute, adds a little whimsy to your house plant. So that's a great idea for this. Let's set that up there. So I'm going to try to band this up so that it can dry and look nice, and take care of it, and then I'm going to take care of some business today. So if you joined me for a moment, I appreciate it. If you're watching this later, thanks for checking it out. I appreciate that as well. And as always, you guys, look for when I put this video up, hit the subscribe and the bell. When I finally have this as an instructional video, you'll want to check that out, I'm sure. So look for that, and until next time, take care.